What up, everyone? Welcome back to Road to Being on Stage, episode 2. Currently, I'm in a maintenance phase, putting on some more muscle. I may drop my calories very little bit, just to kind of start getting rid of some of my body fat. Nothing drastic like I did before. I'd like to try and shave off a little bit before summer really hits. We're approaching, today's June 1st. So we're officially in June. So I want to shave some of this body fat off. We'll do it slowly because I don't need to drop a crazy amount. Just 10 pounds, maybe 15 at the most. And that should happen fairly quickly, but not too quick. I don't want to drop 10, 15 pounds in just a couple of weeks. So we're working on pulling back the calories a little bit just to slowly cut that off. Later this year, I may go into maintenance, maybe slightly above, just to put on a few pounds more of muscle. Well, as much as I can. I don't want to say a few pounds because I'm doing this stuff naturally and I'm in my 40s. So the muscle production's a little slower, but I'm happy with my progress so far. I'm starting to see my chest really develop. A few months back, I would have to really flex my chest in order to see any kind of definition. And I noticed last night, I took my shirt off and I didn't even have to do anything, and it's starting to show, which is pretty awesome. I'm looking down at it as I talk, which is pretty awesome. I'm also starting to really notice that when I'm wearing some of my compression shirts and the tighter shirts, that my arms are starting to look really, really good. I'm seeing definition there. I've had decent arms for a while. They're getting bigger and bigger, but my weak areas were really my chest and my shoulders. I've always had broad shoulders. Genetics really helps me out in that area. Both of my grandfathers had really broad shoulders, so there's a couple of things that I'm genetically winning at, we'll say. Not to say that that's going to do all the work for me, but it helps. Your genetics definitely play a role in your body build and how quick you can put on muscle. I've noticed my weightlifting progress has definitely excelled way faster than me and my running progress. So I'm going to embrace it. Like I said in a previous video, I'm going to embrace it and really run with it. So that's the plan going forward. It's going to be pulling back slightly on calories. I've already started that. And really pushing, giving it all I got in the gym. I grabbed some supplements for recovery to kind of help expedite recovery. But the other thing is, now that I've done legs for a few weeks, got a routine doing every muscle group twice a week, my recovery is picked up. It's kind of crazy how that works. Like, that's why I'm a big believer in, like, once you start, don't stop. Because when you pick up weights again, what will happen is those first couple of weeks, your recovery is going to be not so fast. You'll be sore. And I know that some people are going to be like, yeah, that's because you overdo it or something like that. But even like not going very hard, at least myself, I would still end up sore for a couple of days. And with the progress that I'm trying to go for, I would like to hit legs twice a week, arms twice a week, shoulders twice a week, chest twice a week, at least. I'll probably be going up a little bit in like another, I don't know, month or two, to a 5 day split. But I've definitely noticed that since I really, hammered the legs, that my recovery is way faster. Now, that could also be some of the supplements that I've taken. Like, I went and picked up some citrulline malate, a couple of other things. I'll have to, because I can't remember half of the names, but it's basically all recovery stuff. And I was trying to grab, rather than like paying, $40-50 for like 20 to 30 servings of a pre-workout, I went right to the ingredients, and I'm picking those up directly, because I noticed that if I do that, man, I'm saving a lot of money, and it's working. The one thing I will not pick up is caffeine. That's the one ingredient that I'm not going to dose out myself. I'll get my little bit of caffeine from coffee, or I don't know, friggin' Diet Coke or something like that, because I'm a little sensitive to it. I've noticed that earlier this year I cut caffeine out completely, and I went a good 2 or 3 months with literally no caffeine at all, and I've noticed that since then I'm very, very sensitive to it. Like, if I'm going to drink, and I don't suggest doing this because this stuff is horrible for you, it's just sometimes it's quick and I'm out and in a rush. But like, God, the first time I drank a Monster after cutting on all the caffeine, it was like a bullet. Like, yeah. So here goes a little bit of advice. If you notice that you take pre-workout, or you drink any form of caffeine really, and it doesn't make you feel energized or wired, I suggest pulling back on it greatly if you can, cut it out entirely. I will say the first few days suck. For me, at least, the first few days of no caffeine sucked. I was drinking decaf coffee. Now I know someone's going to get pedantic and be like, well, that still has 2 or 3 milligrams. You're missing the point. But when I cut it out, my head was pounding. It felt like somebody had my brain in a vice. Now it took 2 or 3 days for that to tone down. I took, what did I take? I took like a leaf or something like that. Something that didn't have any caffeine in it, because that's the other thing, is you got to watch some of the medications you take, like Excedrin migraine. They have caffeine in them. That's one of the things that helps eliminate a headache. Like, that's not just an old wives' tale. If you have a headache and you're a regular caffeine drinker and you haven't had any yet that day, I suggest having a little bit, and it'll get rid of your headache most of the time. It may also be due to dehydration, but that's the one supplement I'm not going to try and, dose out myself. And part of that is because, I've heard horror stories with people way overdosing, not even realizing it, and then they're either in the hospital or on the floor dead. And that's not where I want to be, because this is about my health. So I've picked up, a couple of supplements that I've been able to put together that you find in pre-workout. Most of the time, this shit's not dosed right anyway when you see it in a pre-workout. Like, honestly, most pre-workouts completely suck. But I'm going to wrap it up there. I got a giant truck behind me, so it's going to kill my sound. But yeah, that's episode 2. I appreciate anyone that's been following the journey. Go ahead and hit like, comment, subscribe. Drop a comment down below. Check out the description for my socials to follow the journey even more there. You'll find me on Facebook and Instagram. I've got a Strava, Garmin, all of it. You can follow me at any of them and see the progress. Hell, join in. Why not? Start your own journey, because that's what this is about. You want to live longer and a healthier life, then get out, get moving, hit the weights, start eating right, and give yourself a longer window of life. And until the next one, I'm out.